So I've just been sitting here talking to myself, thinking that I'm filming, and it turns out that I forgot to press record. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you a relax and readathon vlog. So the relax and readathon was created by the Reading Nymph, who I'll have linked down below, as well as a link to the announcement video for the February round of the relax and readathon, so you are welcome to join in. But this is a board game based readathon. I'll put it up here. It is meant to be a 24-hour readathon, but really how you choose to participate is up to you. So I have decided that over this weekend coming up, I'm going to do my best to participate. However, I am going to be traveling out of town. I then have to take my my dog Grover to the vet, as he has not been very well, and it has been quite a journey. But fingers crossed all goes well with this visit. And then I am going to be in my alternative location for a market day. So outside of all of that, I am going to try to participate in this game and get some reading done, as I still do want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself during all this travel and stress. And that is the main concept of this game. It is to essentially force yourself to do some cozy, relaxing activities and to read. But quality is more the game than the quantity. But we're going to start off with my first roll. So we're going to change this angle up a little bit, and you're going to see the whole lot on the screen. So this is obviously a voiceover that does not at all match what is currently going on the screen, and that is because my audio did not record. I am definitely not having much luck with OBS at the moment, especially if you watched my recent Sims video, which I'll have up in the cards. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm showing you at this moment that this is the little piece I'm going to be using. It is a little Queen of Hearts heart, because we are obviously in February. I'm now just going through and pointing out all of the cozy activities on the board, and I'm just kind of trying to decide what I'm wanting from the board and where I'm going to start. So normally I would start over by the cat. That's what I did last video, if you'd seen that one, and I'll have that linked up in the cards. But this time I'm going to start over at the frog. See, linked up in the cards will be my last readathon video. But we're going to start over here just under the frog. And in a minute, I am going to start with my first dice roll. If you are a lip reader, let me know down in the comments what I'm actually saying, because I can't really remember. But let's go in to my first roll. And it's a 2. So I'm located under the frog, as you're aware. So I have the options to go to LGBTQ plus MC, or to go mood read. I'm going to decide to go to LGBTQ plus MC, and in fact I have a specific book in mind that I think will work perfectly for this. So as I said, for free space, we are going to be going for a drive, which is something I'm going to be doing anyway, but I might as well use my free space for that. But then our first official role landed us on LGBTQ plus MC. And as I mentioned, I do have a book that's currently on my February TBR, which will be linked up in the cards and the playlist down in the description. And that is King of Dirt by Holden Shepherd. This book is set in Australia, and it is in the industrial Western Australia. I think it is in mining, but it's definitely in construction, very much a masculine industry. And our main character is gay. So far from what I can tell from the blurb, this is kind of a coming of age, coming out story. It does have a lot of internalized homophobia, and it was recommended to me by a friend, so I'm very much looking forward to jumping in and reading this one. But as it is an audiobook, that is how I'm going to be listening to it while I'm driving. I figured that I would also like to have either a physical or an e-book once I get to my location. So I'm also going to do a second roll now. And we're back with my voiceover. Currently, we are at LGBTQ plus MC, and we are going to do our second roll. Ignore that weird little tag down the bottom. We got a 3, which means that we can either go to enjoy a cozy hobby or move 2 spaces, which means we could go to reflect or we could go to Discord vote. I think I've decided to go to Discord vote. That is something I haven't really done before. Okay, so our next one is Discord vote. As you can tell, I'm still wearing the same thing, so I haven't actually got the vote yet. But what I'm going to put forward for voting is 4 ebooks. I'm going to be doing 2 that I have already started and 2 that are interest to me, but I have not yet started. I, at this very moment, am not 100% sure what my 2 interest ones will be, but I am going to put up The Last Pendragon, which was on my January TBR, and I'm also going to put the second book in the Last Girls on Earth series. I've just started that one, and it is on my February TBR. But then I'm also going to do these 2 books. I'm not sure what they are yet, but I'm going to jump back on here once I have my vote. So a reminder, these are the 4 books I'm going to be putting up for my Discord vote, and let's see how that goes. So we're about 50% into King of Dirt by Holden Shepherd. I do still have about 5 hours left on my audiobook, so I am unsure if I'm going to complete it fully within this readathon. But like I said, we are 50% in. This book is set in Australia, in Western Australia to be precise, and it is set within the construction industry, specifically in the road building industry. And our main character, Jack, is dealing with a lot of internalized homophobia, which we are starting to learn was supported, built, created by interactions with his close family and friends. There are definitely some very triggering subjects within this story, including a lot on self-harm and suicide. But we're probably reaching a turning point in Jack's life. So I'm very interested to finish this book up and see whether we end up with a happy ending for Jack, but really even just the self-character development he's had so far has been a vast improvement to where we were when we started the book. As you can see here, I put up my Discord vote. We were looking at Battle of the Book Clubs by Abby Woodland, The Selkie Prince's Fated Mate, The Royal Elfers Book 1 by JJ Masters, The Last Girls on Earth Book 2 Gluttony by Haley and Addison, and The Last Pendragon Saga Book 1 by Sarah Woodbury. We received 2 main votes here, both voting for The Last Pendragon. So, The Last Pendragon it is. So earlier today I finished reading The Last Pendragon, and I'm currently about 60% into King of Dirt. The Last Pendragon is a fantasy. It's got an edge of the journey type fantasy to it, but it is an Arthurian fantasy. Our main character's Cade. He is a heir to Arthur, while Rianne is the daughter of the current reigning king who stole the throne from Cade's father. It definitely has the touch of Not Like Other Girls trope as well as the Chosen One trope. But I am enjoying the fact that though Cade is the main, I guess, chosen one for the story, Rianne's story is equally as detailed and important. So yes, we are on a journey with Cade, and I'm assuming that Cade and Rianne are going to be the main romance, though it is definitely a slow build up to that. But we're very much on the journey with both of the characters, finding out the intricacies of their life and figuring out the whys and the hows of the situation. I don't really want to give too much away because I'm not sure what is going to technically class as a spoiler, but the book ends at a bit of a cliffhanger. It is the starting point for, I guess, another arc in the story, and I'm definitely keen to continue. I'm really enjoying both the character of Cade and the character of Rianne. I'm also interested in a lot of the side characters and how they fit into the overarching story. And I would say it's not really a romantasy, but more a fantasy with romance. So it is currently Sunday, and I was planning to do another roll before finishing this vlog up, before finishing the readathon up, but it took me a bit longer to finish up the last Pendragon than I thought it would. So I don't think I'm going to have time to do another roll. I'm wanting to finish this readathon up tonight. So I am going to continue with King of Dirt, but like I said, I'm unsure if I'm going to finish it because I do have about 3 hours left in the story, and traveling wise to where I'm heading, I probably only have maybe another 2 hours of travel time. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to finish this up or not today. But I will jump back on and let you know where this wrapped up. And I was able to finish King of Dirt. This was a really good book. I listened to it via audiobook, as you're aware, and it had me hook, line, and sinker. It was definitely not a traditional romance. It had, I guess, a bittersweet, to some extent, but also a happy ending. But it was really a roller coaster ride. Our main character, Jack, he is gay and has definitely got a lot of internalized homophobia, which has been caused by most part from his family. While working down south near Eucla, he receives an invitation to a family wedding, and he thinks that this might be the change he's been looking for. Maybe he was a little premature there, but definitely it is a wild ride, him finding himself, him finding love, him finding found family, I think, is a real key point of the plot. And my heartstrings were definitely pulled all the way along. In fact, I'm definitely keen to potentially read some more of Holden Shepherd's work. I know, if I remember correctly, King of Dirt is his first foray into adult fiction, but I really enjoyed his writing style and the authenticity that he seems to portray really well, especially rough Aussie, bogan Aussie kind of feel that the book had. It hit a lot closer to home than some other Australian books that I have read. It was the language, it was the vibe. It felt very much more within that industry that I reside in. As I might have previously mentioned, I live within a mining town, industrial town, and the vibe of Jack and also the other characters, his other friends who were in that industry, really felt close to home for me, which I really appreciated in the book. I did end up giving it 5 stars, and I will say that I'm really pleased with the 2 books I managed to read as part of this readathon. They were both really enjoyable, both 4 and 5 star reads. And I didn't feel any pressure to read. It just kind of come naturally, which is when you really know that a book is worth it. But that is all I have for you today. We are wrapping up this readathon now. And I really enjoy the structure of the relax and readathons. It is something I'm going to do again in the future. Please let me know down in the comments what you would like to see me include more of in this type of video content. But until next time, I'm Verity. This was my February 2026 Relax and Readathon vlog. And now to the outro.